Grab the duct tape and mentally prepare yourself for yet another mind-expanding knowledge bomb from America's #1 business coach, Clay Clark.
That's it. Bombs away.
Yes, 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 and yes. Jason, here we are on this Saturday morning at 7:48 in the morning.
Here we are.
Already today, we have talked to a drywall contractor to help him grow his business.
True.
We have talked with a restaurant in beautiful Satellite Beach, Florida called Morning Glory. We have connected with PMH OKC.
Powerful Randy.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you the good news that happened in the last 300 seconds? Have I told you that yet?
If not, educate me.
Okay, here we see. We were just outside burning some pinyon wood, and I did not share with you because you were on the phone collecting some payment information from somebody, and I did not tell you. Here it is. Shaw Homes this year, this is up 362% for January.
Wow.
Now we've grown Shaw from 37 million to 81 million over the past 3 years.
That's beautiful.
But right now they've done 9.8 million so far this month.
That's insane.
And last January they did 2.7 million. And
Come
the
on.
lowest month of the year for home sales is January.
I'd believe it.
So they might be a $200 million company this year.
Whew.
That, and all I'm saying is, Aaron Antis, if you're out there, I'm not mad. I'm not bitter. But what I want is some Yeezys. So it's the Will Work for Yeezys program.
I mean, it's the least he could do.
Yeah. So if you're out there Aaron, and your name's Aaron Antis, and you hear this show, and you work at Shaw Homes, and you're the marketing director, and you are aware of the epic success you've had this year, and I know you are because you just texted to me. I want you to feel a tug at your heart, and I want you to buy me some Yeezys.
And just know this.
It's really easy. You just buy them.
Yeah, the toe box for Yeezys is a little narrow, so you want to order at least one size bigger than Clay wears.
Get a 14.
Yeah.
Get a size 14 Yeezy for me. Just send it over. Just ship that thing. It's okay. My address, in case you're wondering where you want to ship that, you want to ship that to 1100 Riverwalk Terrace, suite number 100. And that's in Jenks, Jenks, Oklahoma, 74037. So
That's it.
if you're out there listening today and you feel compelled to also buy me a pair of Yeezys, we've had many clients who've bought me. We've had Colton Dixon bought me some Yeezys.
True.
We had the great guys over there at the Da Vinci bought me some Yeezys.
Is that where the tan pair came from?
Yeah, and I gave those to John.
Those were sick.
But I'm telling you what, if you feel the need right now to invest in my health, my foot health. The shoes are very comfortable. If you want these podcasts to get better by about 0.1%, you too can have the satisfaction. Now, if you buy me Yeezys, what I will do is I commit. I will do an entire show about your business, about what makes your business great, unless you have a business that's not great. So if you're a member of like Hezbollah or a member of some sort of terrorist organization, don't mail me some Yeezys thinking you can do that.
Yeah.
But
mail them to me instead.
There we go. Okay. So anyway, on today's show, we're talking about sort, don't sell. Find people that are the right fit and don't shove square pegs into round holes. Again, sort, don't sell. Find people that are the right fit and don't shove square pegs into round holes. So, step number one. Well, what are we talking about? Jason, have you ever seen somebody who took a job at a place where they really didn't fit in? Have you ever seen that happen where somebody or maybe even you took a job at a place and it's a good place, but it's just not your place? Has that ever happened to you before?
My job before Elephant in the Room. Great company. Amazing company. But I realized, a year in, I should not be here.
Why?
It was, culture-wise, I did not like it. There was no overhead music. I was not allowed to listen to any music or podcasts, even though there was nothing going on in the office. It was very gray, and it was just...
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I was working at accounts payable, so it's really not like the most exciting job, but everything was so quiet, and there was no culture. I like noise. I like to listen to something while I'm plugging away. If I'm just typing on an Excel sheet and going through, accounting software all day, I want something to keep me mentally engaged and not just, zoning out. And after that too, I got my first promotion to realize I would go nowhere else there. I didn't want to do that for the next decade of my life. So
let me give you an example. Winters and King, that's my law firm. They're smart people. You go to wintersking.com. wintersking.com. You can see these guys represent, everybody from T.D. Jakes to Pastor Craig Rochelle to Joyce Meyer. Huge personalities, book deals, businesses. They're awesome. Mm. But if you go up there, they have a whole floor of the CityPlex Tower.
Yeah.
And they are a great organization. It's quiet all the time. And do you know why it's quiet all the time up there at Winters and King?
Why is that?
Because they're attorneys. Right? They're attorneys. And Jason, what should attorneys be doing during their day?
Attorneying? No, they should be doing legal work.
Right. And do you want the guy doing legal work? Listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Boom, 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 boom.
This is how it feels to work at Winters and King. In my opinion, this is how it feels. It's very tranquil. It's very calm.
Yeah, my attorney shot me down when I told him he needs some overhead music. He's like, no.
This is kind of the vibe of what it feels like, in my opinion. Every time I go up to Winters and King, it's welcome to your good friends at Winters and King, where we provide high-quality legal services. Would you like a coffee? And then I say, yeah, I'd love a coffee. And it's almost like a, shh. You want a coffee? Yes, I do want a coffee. I will go get you a coffee, Mr. Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Please feel free to grab a seat. And they have the kindest, nicest people, but it doesn't work for me.
No.
But it works for them.
Exactly.
So if they were trying to recruit me, and they're not, when we do handle their marketing and we do help to coach their business and grow their business, but if they were trying to hire me and I said, guys, can we do something with the overhead music? No. Mm-mm. But what happens a lot of times, you see this, what happens when an entrepreneur really tries to sell a new candidate on the job?
If the new candidate is good at, let's say the job, but it's not good for like the culture or even like, like a checklist or something like that. Because I've seen people hire high level people who can come in and let's say we're doing accounting. They can do accounting until the cows come home. But if they have to follow something else, like a script or a checklist, you also may say, hey, I'm going to do this. This is my lane. I don't really do all of that corporate jargon, blah, blah, blah. That's going to upset the culture. And if you keep trying to push it, you're going to alienate the people that you already have there, or you're going to see a drastic change to both parties.
It is so important, though, that if you bring in a candidate, so what I want you to do, I'm going to give you action steps to make sure that this works for you. One is create a polarizing work environment.
Yes.
So talk about this, Jason. What things are in the office right there in the bookstore that you'll see immediately when you come in the office that could be polarizing for some people?
There is a big old American flag. There is a big old Israel flag. And then smack dab in the middle, there is a painting of Jesus.
And again, you are not a Christian. I don't sit there and try to sell you on being a Christian.
Nor am I part of the Islamic State.
Right. But the thing is, there are people that are offended right away by seeing that Israeli flag.
I thought it was interesting. I was like, what's going on here?
But some people get offended by it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've seen people that are offended by the American flag. Some people, the notable quotables we write on the walls.
Yeah, I witnessed somebody erase one. I didn't witness it, but I walked into the bathroom at one of the conferences after somebody had erased one that they didn't agree with.
Nice. That's nice. That's it. Come to my house, come to my conference, and then erase the values that you don't agree with. Okay, I get it. So how do you do that? How do you create a polarizing work environment? One, create print pieces that state your values. Mm-hmm. Create print pieces that celebrate and teach your values. It's so important. And I'm telling you, you don't spell words. Words cast a spell on people. Mm-hmm. Someone should write that down. You don't spell words. Words cast a spell on people. Move number 2. Again, so step number 1, create that polarizing work environment. But how do you do it? 1, you create print pieces that celebrate your values. 2, create an overhead music environment that matches your business's personality. Why is that critical, Jason?
Well, like you were talking about with Winters and King, if you were to walk in to meet with Wes, or if Vanessa were to walk in to meet with Wes, you guys would probably be really thrown if he was listening to DMX. Right. You'd be like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
No, somebody like me, I'd be like, oh, God, I have a gangster attorney. That's great. But no, it also helps set the tone. Because, like, if, let's say, I were to have a
Wes,
grievance.
what are you working on over there? Oh, I'm getting some legal documents ready.
Woo!
Yeah, that's so. Again, it's just so important that you create a polarizing environment where people will want to work for you or not want to work for you.
Yeah, because if I come in complaining about the great playlist that you've built for Elephant in the Room or Thrive, you know that, oh, Jason's not a good fit.
3, establish clear hours of operation and don't deviate. So, Jason, Elephant in the Room, it's a men's grooming lounge.
True.
When do guys want to get their hair cut?
Between the hours of 11 a.m. and 8 p.m.
And they prefer to get their haircut typically after work.
True.
Or on the weekends.
Yep.
So what if you want to work for us, but you don't want to ever work on the weekend or during the evening? What happens?
There are a ton of other really
Great
decent
jobs.
Yeah.
But you don't deviate. So create print pieces that celebrate and teach your values, 1. 2, create overhead music that matches your business's personality. 3, establish clear hours of operation and don't deviate. Jason, how often do you see an entrepreneur kind of deviating? They're kind of, they're trying to accommodate and appease all the employees, and so they keep changing the playlist every day. They keep changing the smells. They keep changing the hours. How often do you see that?
I see it a lot, which gives them a lot of added work and stress. But then also, when you deviate, if you can't keep a system, then you're not going to be able to keep your employees as long because they kind of need to know when they're working.
Oh, yeah.
And not be blindsided. Oh, hey, Carl, you're working every other Tuesday for the next 3 months, and you may or may not work Friday. But yeah, I've seen businesses that will, during the slow season, they'll close a couple days a week, and then people get used to that. And then the busy rush comes around, and then somebody's now working 6 days a week, and they hate their job.
Now, Elon Musk couldn't be here on today's show because he's a man of class. Although we did get Jim Bridenstine, who's the head of NASA, on the show, and we are working hard to get Elon on the show, and eventually we will get Elon on the show. But Elon Musk, who is the guy behind PayPal, SpaceX, and Tesla, Elon Musk is doing very well. For those of you who are new to the planet Earth, Elon Musk is absolutely a legendary innovator, an entrepreneur who currently has a net worth today, as of this is crazy, $32 billion, one thinks, because he just got himself a big bonus. So right now, according to Bloomberg, his net worth is estimated at $32 billion.
Wow.
So he's doing well. But this is what Elon Musk has to say about hiring people. He says, one lesson I learned at PayPal is to fire people faster. That sounds awful. But I think if somebody's not working out, it's best to part ways sooner rather than later. It's a mistake to try too hard to make something work that really couldn't work.
Yeah.
Again, one lesson I learned at PayPal is to fire people faster. That sounds awful, but I think if something is not working out, it's best to part ways sooner rather than later. It's a mistake to try too hard to make something work that really couldn't work.
Yeah. We talked about that on the podcast that we recorded, before about the difference between A, B, and C players. And one important thing that I wanted to say about that was, Elon Musk says if you can't change them, get them out of there. But the only people that you really can change are the A players because they want to change, so they're going to be looking for that. But if you try to mold a C and B player, you're just going to waste your time.
And if you go online and you want to have a blasty blast at Elon Musk's expense, I encourage you to read comments of ex-employees tell all. You'll see this a lot. Whenever somebody is not a good fit for a company, they really go up there and they start to kind of bash. And why does somebody who's not a good fit go online and bash their employer? Why would an employee who takes a job and is not a good fit for the job, why do they bash their employer? Why do they do that if it's not a good fit?
They want to save face, and they want to shift that blame to somebody else. They don't want to own up to it. Like, I've worked at plenty of jobs. Like when I was a host at a certain restaurant here in Tulsa, I could do the job, but it clearly wasn't meant for me. And so at one point they're like, hey, this isn't really working out. It doesn't seem like you want to be here. I'm like, you're right. They let me go, and I was cool with that. You didn't see me hop on Google and be like, this place sucks. I still went back there for multiple years until they closed. But, most people don't want to accept that they were bad for something. They don't want to admit defeat. They want to say, oh, woe is me, get the company in trouble, and try and just stick it to them one last time.
Elon Musk has talked about it. He said, listen, if you're going to come work at Tesla, it's like working in the Marines, okay? It's not for everybody. Tesla is a company changing the automotive industry.
Yeah.
SpaceX is changing the way we travel to space. Neuralink is changing the way that minds and artificial intelligence works with computers. Mm-hmm. He's changing the world.
Yeah.
And so this is what an ex-employee of Elon Musk says about him in a Business Insider article. The article is titled, Former Tesla Employees Reveal What It's Really Like to Work with Elon Musk. Okay, here we go. The employee says, because of the pressure that he puts on the entire executive team, his senior leadership team, even if they have the experience, they wouldn't dare speak up against him. Obviously.
Yeah.
Go get another job.
Right.
Why are you working for the world's most intense person?
Well, and that's the funny thing too is
Right.
I've read at my brother is a huge gamer. One of the companies that he adores got in trouble because a couple of their employees got together and were talking about all these crazy hours they had to work in order to hit deadlines. Well, if your job is making software code that you're going to sell to people that they're then going to have to play, you have to take the man hours to do it. And if you work for a company...
I think we have a client that's locked outside.
Oh, I will go get him.
Can you go get that client there? And we come back to hear the rest of the story. But if you're out there today, and I'm telling you, if you're out there today and you find yourself in a spot where you have people on your team that don't want to work for you or with you, it is super duper important that you get them out of there. But you got to make a culture that people can either love or hate. You can't have a workplace that it's beige and vanilla and it tries to appeal to everybody, because you just can't do it. It's not possible. It's an impossible goal to build a culture that appeals to everybody. So again, when you're recruiting, when you are recruiting and onboarding new people, see if they are a good fit. And how do you know if they're a good fit? Create a polarizing work environment. Create print pieces that celebrate and teach your values. Create overhead music that matches your business's personality. And establish clear hours of operation and don't deviate. Jason, come share the rest of the story, and then we're going to hang out with Alan, perhaps the best engineer in the history of America. We'll talk to Alan here in just a minute.
Yeah, so it's just about setting expectations. So if you're working for Elon Musk, you have to realize you're probably going to have to work hard because homeboy worked, 80 to 90 hours per week, slept in a Chinese factory.
And he still does.
But yeah, and it was the same thing with that gaming company. People were pissed because they chose a job that requires them to work a ton of hours to cram code to hit a deadline, where their bosses are doing the same thing. These guys, when building software companies, they had to sacrifice. So if you're going to work for somebody of that caliber, you should probably consider getting used to that schedule, because that's what they're going to expect from you.
Again, when onboarding new people, sort, don't sell. Create a polarizing work environment. If you're a Christian and you want to play your Christian music overhead, a.k.a. Hobby Lobby, do it. And then if people are offended by it, tell them to go kick rocks. All right? Create print pieces that create and celebrate your values. Create overhead music that fits your culture. Establish clear hours of operation. If you're somebody who's offended that Starbucks doesn't celebrate Christmas, don't get a job at Starbucks.
True.
This just in. And now we want to end the show with a boom, but before we do that, everybody go to aabeng.com. aabeng.com. If you're looking for an engineer, and I know you are, check out aabeng.com. Why? Because I'm making him wait because he was locked outside. I'm a horrible person. And now without any further ado, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Like eating a spoonful of Drano. Sure, it'll clean you out, but it'll leave you hollow inside.